And now it's my pleasure to introduce this year's graduation keynote speaker. Meg Steedle is an alumni of GDS. She's an actor, filmmaker, and acting coach based in New York City. She began her career on stage in world premiere productions, including The Heir Apparent and Fox and the Fairway, before earning widespread recognition for her role as Billy Kent on HBO's Boardwalk Empire. She earned a Screen Actors Guild Award nomination for Best Ensemble in a Drama Series for her role in Boardwalk Empire. Meg has since built a multifaceted career across film, television, and theater. Her TV credits include Grey's Anatomy, American Horror Story, NCIS, Nashville, Mysteries of Laura, A Friend of the Family, and Mr. Mercedes, among many others. As a writer, she was a finalist for the $50,000 Screencraft Film Fund, the Slam Dance Screenplay Competition, and the Outstanding Screenplays Competition. In 2022, Meg launched a private consulting business or coaching practice to help actors develop confidence and craft that they need. I bet some of our alumni would love to see you here, Meg. And if that's not enough, Meg is currently directing her first original musical film called Pop Screen. It features original songs and is inspired by her time working behind the scenes at a historic Los Angeles recording studio. Meg, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome you back home to GDS today. Thank you for sharing your alumni words of wisdom to the class of 2025. Come on up.
Thank you, Tracy. Good morning, and good morning, class of 2025. Tracy, that intro made me sound awesome, and like I've got it all figured out. So, class of 2025, I can tell you right now, I do not. But I do see myself as a kind of older sister to you all, wishing that age math made sense. But really, I'm someone who's just a little further down the path from you. Because you all have your own accolades, you have your own accomplishments. You wouldn't be sitting here if you didn't. And that will continue. You are ready to launch. Some of you may be ready to get the heck out of here. And really, no one can tell you what's best for you anymore but you. See, from here on out, the bad news is you have to figure it out yourself. The good news is you get to figure it out yourself. And since I have the incredible honor of speaking here with you today, and because I'm sure that I was asked here with the hopes that I might impart some wisdom to you all, I thought that I would just break down a few things that high school Meg would have never believed, but commencement speaker Meg is beginning to build a life around. Some things to consider as you begin your own journey. Some thoughts from down the path, if you will. So here we go. Do not spend your life chasing the A. That's a weird one to say at school. But the fact is, especially here at GDS, we get very good at earning gold stars. We learn the discipline of hard work. It's such a leg up. And we know how to follow instructions, we meet deadlines, we play by the rules, and we work hard, period. The same will be true in many ways over the next 4 years. But once you leave school, newsflash, there is no A to get. There is no perfectly curated curriculum to tell you what matters and when. You're gonna face a lot of decisions. You're gonna face a lot of choices. Your majors, your classes, relationships, where to put your energy. And I want you to start to ask, is this for me or is this for someone else? Is this for me now or is this for an old version of me? Now, many of you may already know what you want to do, or at least study at college. I did. I was going to be an actor, and because I was successful at it, I kept at it longer. I pushed myself harder for years, even when the results started to dry up. Even when, in that life, I started to feel like I was a little miserable. I kept my head down, I did the work, I focused only on the work because it's what I knew. And because I had such blinders on, I couldn't see that maybe, just maybe, there might be another way. I was going for the A, and it is a powerful way to stay stuck. No one pats you on the shoulder and tells you when getting the A is no longer getting you what you want. You have to notice it for yourself. So start to shift your focus, your thinking around this while you're still in school. Start asking yourself constantly, who am I completing these assignments for? What am I completing them for? Because perfection is not purpose. Discipline and hard work are incredible assets when used in the right circumstances. But the problem with always going for the A in anything is you could be in the wrong dang class. Now, you could be working hard because someone told you to, not because it benefits you. Question now everything that requires your full attention and your hard work. What will this get me? Do I really want this? If the answer is yes, go for it. If not, that brings me to my second piece of advice. Be a good quitter. Tracy is now officially rethinking her decision to ask me to speak today. We've heard since preschool that quitting is failure, right? Successful people stick with it. But here's the twist. The most successful, joyful, innovative people I know are excellent quitters. They don't cling to something just because they've invested time in it. They recognize when something isn't working for them anymore. A job, a major, a relationship. They walk away. They walk away thoughtfully. They walk away purposefully. You only have so much time, and your time is very valuable. Now, quitting does not have to be a hard turn or a complete 180. Sometimes it's just this tiny shift closer to something that just feels better. My friend Amanda has a great analogy for this. When something feels off, you look for the next stepping stone right in front of your face. Not the big leap, not the perfect answer, just the next small move. Like rock hopping. When the one you're on feels off, you take a lay of the land, you look at your option, and you pick the next truest step. Even if it feels icky, you pick that step and you take it. You leave the major, you leave the job, you leave the person, you leave the city. You take it. But don't be defined, don't be anchored by the stepping stone you happen to be on. Which brings me to, write those goals in pencil. Now, I spoke to a few of you this past weekend, and I was, first of all, blown away by how smart and how grounded you are, and also by the fact a lot of you knew exactly what you wanted to do at 18 years old. See, I thought I was unique in that way at your age, because at GDS, I had declared that I wanted to be an actor, that was my future, that was my clarity, and I thought, actually, it made me stand out. So, sitting in your chair, ready to launch, I would have blocked out the next thing that I'm going to tell you, but I'm going to say it anyway in case it plants a seed. Your goals will probably change, and that is a good thing. Some of you might be saying in your head, sure, but I'm not a quitter. See, told you. As I entered college, surrounded by other theater majors who knew what they wanted, and they wanted to be actors too, I needed a new way to stand out, to find my identity there. So I decided, in true GDS overachiever fashion, to not wait for faculty to cast me. No. Instead, I would put on my own play. I found a director, I put together a cast, myself included, of course. I recruited a creative team, and I booked a major stage for our performances. I poured weeks of my life into this thing. 2 weeks into rehearsals, the director quit. well, seeing my extreme disappointment, she said, why don't you direct it? I looked at her like maybe she was confused. I was an actor. Other people were directors. But here's a spoiler. I eventually did direct, almost 20 years later. Don't wait. Because here's what I found out when I directed for the first time this past year. I'm good at it, and I love it. I like it probably even more than the acting thing. And now, for now, it's my new stepping stone. The identity that you created here at GDS, that you will create in college, it's not a brand you have to keep up. Your dream is not a contract. Try things. Write your goals in pencil. And be open to the possibility that you might have to erase your first goals in order to write something that will be much, much bigger. Because the version of you who picked those goals, who is sitting here right now, that won't be the same person even 4 years from now, much less 10, 15 years down the road. Neither will the world, which doesn't even look the same it did when you started high school. I mean, you probably know it even more than we do. You know, everything's moving. You gotta be able to move too. Adaptability isn't a backup plan, it's the only plan. So, make plans. Yes, make plans. But keep that eraser handy and be willing to use it. Okay, here's the last one, and the one that took me the longest to learn. Nothing great happens solo. Find your people. But that realization for me was like throwing out everything I ever knew. In life, what makes things happen, what becomes your North Star, is not your GPA, it's not your Instagram count, not even your hard work, sorry. It's your people. The tribe you build that you've already started here will shape everything. I wasn't good at this at GDS. I spent so much time studying that I didn't prioritize time with friends. Almost like the people around me were a distraction to what I really wanted. And honestly, this idea, it's an idea I'm still learning. But the proof is everywhere. Your future collaborators, co-founders, co-creators are sitting next to you right now. They will be sitting next to you in college too. Don't miss that. Now I know some of you, you're already in escape mode, you're ready to get the heck out of here. I get it. Trust me, I get it. I was that person. But when I moved back to New York from LA a few years ago, and I found that most of my friends had already left the city for other places to live, what changed everything for me was a small decision to go to a GDS reunion. And it is one of the best decisions I've made in the past several years. Here were these people that I thought I would never see again. And because of that one reunion, GDSers are now some of my best New York friends, people I didn't hang out with while I was here, by the way. They're my doctors, one spoke at last year's graduation, they're my producers, and my boyfriend. I know the intrigue, at GDS he was popular, I was not so flex, anything can happen. So, if this concept is new to you, if up to now you have put more value on the work on your desk than in the people around you, I have some really good news for you. These people will stick with you. I don't care who you were in high school or who you hung out with. These people next to you, these people in front of you, they are there, whether you want them or not. This is the start of what will become your tribe. So, you made it. I'm gonna leave you. And I want you to know there really is no one way, and that can be kind of scary, but it can also be really exciting if you give yourself space and you give yourself the permission to keep figuring it out every step of the way. So, class of 2025, your last lesson at GDS, and it's in my hands. Don't chase the A. Be a brave quitter. Erase the plan when it doesn't fit. And keep finding your tribe. From your older sibling, who's still up here figuring out herself, be messy. Go build a life that makes you say, wait, how the hell did I end up here? Because it's pretty cool. Thank you so much for having me. And congratulations, class of 2025.